Marco on here, introducing Marco Nektan from Serbia, Belgrade, Serbia. So this is Marco. And just introduce yourself and what you do and how long you've been doing it and how you like it and all that.
Yeah. Well, I'm Marco from Serbia. That's Southeast Europe. It's nice. It's uncomfortable for me to say I'm a dancer, I'm an artist, or something like that. It's just making more labels, just making borders for everything I can actually do.
Right.
But basically, I'm a dancer and performance artist. Focusing on Butoh last 5 years, but I'm familiar with Butoh learning for around 15 years, along with the other dance forms and theater of movement, performance arts, and so on. Yeah.
Nice. So 5 years, Butoh.
Yeah, just Butoh 5 years without anything else. But before that, I did Butoh along with other things.
Right.
Like some period of in one period before 5 years, I did ballet. Of course, professionally for money.
Right.
Of course, and I did Butoh just as as something I love.
Right.
And then I stopped doing classical and contemporary ballet, and I focus on Butoh.
Okay. And how do you feel your experience is different here in Serbia as opposed to maybe Germany or other places that you've been to?
Well, this is really a small country. Even the region is very small and close. Experience is very strange. In the way that audience really likes it, because it's something new and very deep, and they could reflect their own inside, but it's still really new for them. Comparing to Germany, basically mostly Berlin, in Berlin they already knew a lot of Butoh, not everything of course,
right.
And audience is very critical and really not focusing on work. And when you are there, you're one in a million, not really having opportunity to express yourself as you can in the rest of the Europe. Butoh is still new. I think it's one dancer for a country.
Yeah.
There is of course few dancers for country, but just at least one is focusing on really researching this art and developing it, but the rest are working occasionally. So it's still the same situation here.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, it's same in many locations. I'm seeing, but hopefully we can connect, be pioneers in growing and connecting people together, which is what I like to do. So anyway, what was the drive to get you into Butoh? Like, what pulled you toward this? Because it's totally different than modern ballet and all that.
Well, I was from the early age. I was attracted to spirituality and dance in the same time, but these two things were totally separate. And basically, I can say that I said this a long time ago, and I could say again that I find in Butoh combination of the art and spirituality in one. Even if Butoh is not connected to one particular spirituality, it has this essence of inner work, traveling to the hidden worlds and working with your spirit mostly, and still creating the art. It's combined to my favorite stuff.
Right.
And the way that I started is actually, it's recommendation of one of our very famous artists in Serbia, like, oh, you should do Butoh. And I was like,
really?
what is
Oh.
Butoh? And then I researched as much as I can in that time, and there was some teachers coming to these regions, and I had opportunity to be introduced with Butoh at very early age, when I haven't had even experience with dance that much. So I was in touch with this remarkable art, but I couldn't develop big in that time.
Right.
Just later when I
see.
Yeah, when I find some other stuff.
So in the beginning, was that Katsura Khan or was that somebody else that introduced you?
Katsura Khan was very famous here. He comes often, but there was other artists who comes. I couldn't remember all the names. Just I see that modern dancers always write all the names and put in the biography. I forgot half of them because in that beginning nobody forced us to write this kind of complicated biography, so I even didn't care. I just care about learning something.
Right.
And now suddenly everybody asking, where did you learn? Like, well,
I think they can just look at videos and see, well, obviously you got it from many sources.
But many people don't even watch it. Just it's a story nowadays, you know. And I see that many those who are saying so many names and putting biography don't even have videos online that you can see what they are actually doing.
Right. Yeah, they say proof is in the pudding in the United States. So, and speaking of these matters, these complicated matters in Butoh, you being in Serbia, what are your thoughts of, say, Japanese nationalists saying that you can only do Butoh if you're Japanese? What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, many of the dancers or teachers who comes, even Katsura Khan says that. I don't want to mention him so much, but he don't probably remember me. But many others who come and visit said that the situation in Serbia and this region, the Balkans, actually could bring and create one of the most greatest artists in the world, not just the Butoh. But I think we are too lazy to create that. We have this almost the same things happening over and over as it happens after the Second World War or during the Second World War in Japan, that provokes maybe creation of the of Butoh.
Right.
But you know, as we know, researching the roots of the Butoh. Even those who created Butoh or started dancing Butoh, Hijikata and Kazuono, they were students of German Expressionist school. So we can see that actually the German Expressionist or radical dance could be actually the root of Butoh. If we see the Hexentans, the witch dance of the Mary Wingman, it's pure Butoh, in my opinion.
Very much looks like it.
And also the music, this avant-garde music actually started in Europe. And you mentioned in one of your videos that Hijikata was inspired by the pictures of Balmer and Bacon.
Yeah, Balmer, yes.
And that's also root in Europe. So I think that Butoh is just a Japanese name, but it's contemporary art for all the creatures in this universe.
Yeah, I definitely see it's very universal.
When you mentioned this, I remember one funny thing. We did a rehearsal and workshop in a park in Germany, in Berlin, and one guy came with a dog and observed our dance. He was so fascinated, but he was like a president of the people with the dogs, something like that. And he recommended, like, maybe this dance could be very useful for a dog or something.
Why not?
Then I stop and think maybe we could do Butoh with animals.
Right.
It's just they are pure already, so
Right.
it could be very interesting, maybe. Yeah, of course, I'm joking. Everybody will hate me because of this now, but yeah.
No, I mean, I forgot who was doing it. I think maybe in Norway, Butoh, they had a workshop somewhere else, like in Spain, and they were resonating with horses. Did you? I don't know if you heard about that, but I was like,
that's really nice.
It's a whole nother level, like horses with Butoh and people. So yeah, this is what I find with Butoh very interesting, is that it's like it has so many applications just because the art form is so big that you can apply it to maybe shamanism, or maybe not so esoteric, to something else more artistic. Maybe Evangeline does a lot of social things, so maybe like a little bit more social, but you have all these options. You can do so much with it. So I honestly feel that it's something that might grow bigger just because people are going to see, oh, I could use that for my art,
Yeah, you remind me now about what you said. Difference between German and Serbian art dancers is that actually whenever I was in Berlin, I saw the need for the social question, like all the work that I create there always have some kind of political connotation or social connotation. So we did one big work at the Berlin Wall, and it was between the east and west, and here in Serbia they are more interested in esoteric and spirituality and this kind of things.
So maybe one last question. So which Butoh artists in the world resonate with you?
Yeah, that's a great question. I still don't know the. Well, I like Western dancers.
Yeah.
Sometimes more. Well, of course, I love Kazon.
Right.
And he's really, somebody said, like the soul of Butoh.
Right.
He's really the saint. And I like Ken Mai very much. His work. I'm very impressed by his work. And Imre Torman. He's one of the very impressive, but
very, very.
There is many dancers. I saw the videos of the Rizom Lee students, and I love them a lot. They have very nice work, even during the school. It's really impressive.
You also mentioned Anastasia from Seattle.
I just fell in love. I think they are from
Portland,
LA.
Something
like that. It's a bad uncle sister, or this company. Anastasia is the director or something, and she's making these beautiful costumes. And I like that they are one of us from the West who, for some reason, stop using this word Butoh to describe what we do, and she's combining with contemporary dance, and I like this freedom of not sticking to some frame, but going free, using different kinds of techniques, and she's very impressive and beautiful doing this. I really love what they do.
It's very nice. I think this is why some people choose to do Butoh based or Butoh influence, and they don't even call it Butoh anymore because sometimes it's problematic.
I think she have a lot of Butoh influence, but she's free to use even contemporary dance, which not many dancers gives themselves opportunity to be that free.
I think it's important to allow other things too. I mean, even Tadashi Endo encourage, like if you have incorporate it. Why not? See what happens.
There is many dancers who are very impressive. I like this Stefan from Munich. He's Munich Butoh. I like the way how he move and dance. He's very impressive. I never met him, but something. There is. I need to mention this Yumi from Paris, which work with the video work. over her. I host her here in Belgrade, and she was amazing. She was really. When we finished watching the performance, we were like under the with some kinds of drugs or something. We couldn't even speak for half an hour. Half of the cafe, nobody speaks, just totally silent. She comes out very happy, like, how are you? Like, oh, we cannot speak still. It was really impressive. I like her work very much. I was so impressed.
And so do you find yourself continuing to host people from other places because you're hosting me? Yeah, and I got to do a performance, I did a workshop, and it's very nice.
Yeah, we have no much money here.
Yeah,
I know that Butoh could be very expensive.
Right.
But my doors are always open, and this small community here will take care of whoever comes. It's just free. I think now Serbia is very peaceful nowadays, and have a lot of opportunity to create and to have a good production. So yeah, I invite people who wants to come and just create, and do not expect much, but they could relax at least.
Well, I encourage everyone, whoever, to visit.
Thank you.
And because I think it's very nice for people to get new experiences, new cultures, and this connection thing is something I learned from Lee. Connect the world, free resonance of the world. You know, this is Butoh family. I think this is what it's really all about. No, and not about competition, about collaborations.
Yeah, I can host in my home. Of course, we will feed you, and we will have fun, and of course create something.
Right. Nice. Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.